So interface means it is used for communicating with different parts of a program or algorithm. So they are being done using the arguments that are being used with the functions or modules of a larger program. So these functions are also the operations that are being performed on the data, and while performing the operations we may have to think of this interface. While implementation, there are different states for the data. The internal representation of a data structure will be different from the actual data that we are having. So that thing also need to be taken into consideration. We'll be seeing all these things in detail. That's why I am moving through these topics so quickly. And most of the things are the basic of data structure, which you might have seen in previous classes or your UG classes. Probably we'll be seeing this in detail in the coming sessions. So I am not spending so much time on these simple definitions or topic expansions. Characteristics of data structures. Correctness, nothing to say about it. Time complexity we have seen already. And then space complexity. Time and space are the most important resources of a computing environment. We must take care of the processing time as well as the memory space available with a programming environment. So we should consider both these factors while designing an algorithm. The need for data structuring is data searching should be made easy, or it should be done without much complication. Whenever something is arranged in a way, then searching or taking something from that will consume only lesser time. Then processing speed also is a factor of this data structuring. Process speed, although being very high, falls limited if the data grows to billion records. When the data size is huge, even if it is a fast processor, it may get reduced. The speed may be reduced due to this bulkness of the data. For that, we may have to keep away unwanted data so that it is not considered in the searching process. Then multiple requests, all these things we have seen earlier. Then execution time cases we have seen in asymptotic analysis. We can have worst case, average case as well as best case. We must always stick on to worst case because we cannot move down of this worst case. Then some terms that are being used with data structures are data, obviously. They are a set of values. Data item is a single value. Data means a collection or set of values. Data items that are divided into sub-items are called group items. Elementary items, items that cannot be further divided, are called as elementary items. Attribute and entity, so are basic words which you might have come across in different subjects. An entity is that contains certain attributes or properties which may be assigned values. Entity set is similar attributes forming an entity set. entities of similar attributes form an entity set. Field, a single elementary unit of information, represent an attribute of an entity. So if we store a value somewhere, we can say that that container can be considered as a field. Record, it's a collection of these fields related from one to another. Then that collection can be termed as a record. These records can be collected again and forms a file. So we have entity with some property, and if we store some values, it becomes a field. When such fields are being related with some conditions, then we get a record, and these records can be collectively organized into a unit called as file. Okay, so we will be moving through these topics in a detailed way in coming sessions.